always is.
All right, everybody, we're back with Breaking Barriers with life support, and we still have. Well, some of y'all didn't know, but we had us. We had a technical glitch today, but it's all good because it gave us the opportunity to keep kicking it with our special guest, Mr. Adam Grant.
Hey,
Hey, if
welcome.
we had to clap the hand clap, then I would be.
That's right.
All right, so we did a whole 30 minutes with Adam.
We
And
had a
then
whole conversation.
a whole conversation, and then found out that it didn't even record. So thank God Adam was still outside, and now we're back. So we're just gonna kick it.
Hey, real life.
That's right.
Yeah, this is real life. And what's funny is that this is called what is this one?
Reentry through relationship.
That's right.
Exactly.
So that's what we're doing. We're doing re-entry through relationship.
Absolutely.
And can we just say that Adam has come all the way with these messed up freeways? I mean, they jacked, right?
Yeah, I'm glad you can see my face because that pretty much said it. They're actually better now that we're in the off season. I hate driving down here during the summer. It is just wrong.
You prefer to come with the rain and the snow and the sleet, all this.
At least most of the lanes are open that way.
Oh
I
my
mean,
gosh.
it's like everything was getting squeezed into, this
Oh,
small
yeah.
one lane everywhere you'd go. And if you don't know where you're going, I got to get 3 lanes over like
Yes,
that.
yes,
So,
Yeah.
yes.
Good point.
All right, so let's just talk. We talked about. I'm glad because I wanted to touch on some of the stuff we were talking about. I suggested that Adam write a book. I asked, inquired if he'd written a book because everybody, we all have books in us,
Yeah.
but some of us have more monetizable, sellable books.
Adam has bars.
Yes. Okay.
nobody's ever said that about Adam before.
So it's like, okay, talk about these books. So Adam is our guest here with from A Brighter Way. And in fact, Adam is the executive director at A Brighter Way. So we already talked about that, but none of you got to hear it.
So let's recap that. How did you start with the brighter way?
I started with A Brighter Way. I was actually working as a Jackson Area Recovery Community Coordinator out of Jackson, Michigan with Home and New Vision. The executive director position came open at A Brighter Way, and somebody had been following me with the work that I'd been doing because my philosophy has always just been show up. Show up and do your best. I believe in being a beneficial presence, which only requires 2 things. 1, that I show up. 2, that I be beneficial while I'm there. And so it got me noticed. And after a few interviews, the chairman of the board decided that I was the one that they needed for A Brighter Way. Let me say this too about A Brighter Way. When it came to me, it was like I'm pretty cheesy in some regards. If you get to know me, I'll come up with some stuff and I'll put some cheese on anything. So, with A Brighter Way, it's so easy to be cheesy. Because I mean, think about it. A brighter way. You can't have a brighter way unless everybody lends their light.
Yes,
All these different ways. It's so
yes.
easy. And I joked
Yeah.
that I think that there was going to be a better way, and a better way was probably taken. So I'm actually glad that it ended up being a brighter
brighter
way.
way.
And this idea, because I want to go to the idea, because this is at the heart of what we do. The idea of reentry through relationship. I had an English teacher tell me one time that was an improper sentence. Because it didn't have an S on it, and I said, that's the point. Because I'm not talking about multiple relationships. I talk about the one that's in front of you right now,
Exactly. Not the next one.
not the next one. Too many people are thinking about the next one,
like
or
McDonald's. Next.
Yeah.
yeah,
Here.
over 30 billion sold.
Right.
Okay, well, I'm impressed. This one's garbage right now. So that's the key to it. Is so even the idea of having the conversation again. It's the relationship. I was out there making a phone call, and I was
Yes.
focused on that relationship. You called. I came back in. I'm focused on this relationship.
I appreciate
Yeah.
that. And you're so present. And I think about when I met you in person, you were Where were we?
You standing in the hallway across from the
Well,
my
at the
semi desk.
meal, we were. Oh, is that where we met? No,
That's where I
we
first
were
met
in
him.
the. We were actually in the dining hall,
Okay, yes, you was on the room. That's
and I
right.
saw you.
Yeah.
You were at the table. We hadn't went out there yet, and
Yeah.
he was talking to someone else, and I
Probably
knew
Mike. I think I was talking to Mike. No, I was talking. Oh, I know.
somebody.
I
And
know. I know what you're
I
talking
was
about.
waiting because I was like, I can't wait. But you know how Larry and I were talking about how we met so many people and we felt like we knew them already.
Yeah.
You know how when you come into a room and you might be reserved or you're like, you not you
No,
bring
I
in your
don't.
representative. Exactly. You don't know.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So I'm glad we're getting to do this again because I looked at your bio. How did you start working for the NAACP? Tell me about this.
So there were chapters inside, and you literally had to get you literally had to have so many members, so many dues paying members
In prison?
in prison to be able
Wait,
to actually
paying dues.
pay in dues. Now we got a reduced part. I think it was like $14 or something like that.
Per year?
Yes. And to be able to establish a chapter. And they had a chapter at Saginaw, and then something happened, and they'd lost their charter, and so we had to reestablish. It takes 50 members to start out with, first off. And the institution didn't really necessarily want us doing that, so every time we'd get to about 35, half of them would ride out.
Dirty.
So yeah, so it just so happened that I was a member. I started attending, and then we started talking about things. And often when I start talking in a group, they're like, "Oh yeah, we need to engage you a little bit more. You need to do this. You need to do this." And they ended up riding out one of our PR director, and they were like, "You think you could do it?" And I'm like, "I know I could do it, but are people going to be receptive
Yes.
to it?"
How was that?
Well, I mean, the first time that I got up there and spoke to everybody, I said that I understand that this isn't the same, that I understand that I'm a white male in America and this matters. But the fact is at this point in time, we're all blue and orange.
Yeah. I'm here with y'all.
Ain't no doubt.
Yeah.
So I think, and people started to listen, and I've always, I mean, I'm an underdog person. I believe in the underdog, so I don't ever ride. I'm not a front runner with anything. So it just resonated with me. The more I learned, the more I understood. I mean, I grew up in neighborhoods where a lot of the people that I was surrounded by were experiencing things, but I wasn't really looking at that. I was getting high. I was getting drunk. I wasn't trying to think about none of that
Right.
stuff. But when I was sober and when I was clean and when I was conscious, I started looking at this a little bit more and realizing, the systemic issues that we have and that more people that look like me need to speak into some of these spaces. My deputy director and I, who's also my best friend, sometimes I don't want to spill too much of the game, but sometimes we'll come into a room and we know that we need, there's a time to sit at a table and there's a time to flip a table. And sometimes I tell him, let me take this part because they can't call me the angry black man.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
You need allies.
Yeah.
And you need people who are honest to speak the truth.
That's
And
the
it's
whole point of
okay.
community.
Exactly.
It takes us all. So
Yeah.
yeah, and a different point of view, a different perspective, is always enlightening.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I loved when we were at the Justice Forum Summit when they were talking about we need to the thing that we don't talk about. Oh, I think that was one of the calls, in fact, also about we don't discuss the race, the difference, the things, the beauty, the value.
Yeah.
So we just don't talk about it.
Right, especially like an equity. Like people will talk about equality and don't understand
Yes.
equity. You can't have
Exactly.
equality without equity. They also like diversity, equity, and inclusion. I like to say all of them because it's not letters. I recently got a hoodie that says equity is not a program
Right.
on it. But this idea that like there's a lot of places that claim that they like diversity, but they don't really do inclusion.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm going to bring you into the room, and then I want you to act like the last group of people that was in the room. That don't make no
Assimilate.
sense.
Exactly. Exactly.
Right.
I'm different.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that happened to me, and it's different, but it happened to me when I first came home because I got into peer work, and people were saying, "Well, I don't know if that's what they're going through, but didn't you bring me in to kind of to share my experience?"
Right.
And that's the whole point is that we bring people in. We don't really have diversity if people are asked to assimilate.
Yes.
That's a huge thing. And that's the idea of not having the relationship in front of you being the most important one, too. Let's figure out who you should be 6 months from now.
Yes.
No, you
Yeah.
brought me in for this purpose right now. And look at my hoodie. This is like
Yes.
sometimes people are going to really enjoy me in a room,
Yeah.
and some people are going to wish I'd get the hell home.
That's just how it is.
Yeah, that's for everyone.
do not care.
Yeah.
No, and I think that if you don't have that response with people, then you're not being authentic because
Yeah.
I'm not going to be everybody's cup of tea.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. And that's okay.
That's more than okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And exactly. And it's funny that you're saying this because for me, and I don't know what I went through last night. Maybe all the anxiety, the anticipation, you want things to work out right. You're
Sure.
trying everything. And then
You're doing multiple things at one time.
yes. And then you don't know exactly what you should be doing.
Yeah.
Right.
That's going to be effective.
Yeah.
What's that thing? But you seem to have found your thing. You came out and was like, my thing is leadership. But even inside, that's the other difference.
Sure.
How on the inside, which our initial podcast show was inside perspective, because we're to talk about inside and outside.
Yeah.
But somehow it evolved to breaking barriers because we just were like, we disruptors,
Yeah.
and not even voluntarily, to be honest. But it is voluntary because you got to take you got to decide to do it because many people sit in the bag.
Even if it's a calling, you still have to act on it. So it's all voluntary in some ways.
Yes, it is. So you decided when you were still incarcerated to go on and step into your leadership boots. And then you did that, and then you got exposure. People saw you. Then you came home and continued your work and developed your skill set.
Sure.
People continue to see him.
Yes. What does that feel like looking back saying, wow, look at all these people that I'm having a positive impact on?
Well, it feels pretty good because I always knew I could have a negative impact. I mean, that was obvious.
Okay.
I mean, I did my first armed robbery at 12. It was pretty. I knew I could have a negative impact. I never even considered that I could have a positive impact. Wow. So the work with NAACP and stuff like that started to show me some things that I didn't know, and then I started to like how it felt because I liked how I was perceived with that old hat. Because I was like the mission man.
Yeah.
I was the one that, if you remember the movie The Town, when he comes up and says, listen, man, some people are going to get hurt and this, that, and the other. And he's like, who's driving?
Exactly.
Yeah. That's me and my buddy, too. Yeah. I like that.
And that's kind of how I was. And I didn't really do that because I did that because that's what I thought I needed to be. In the community that I was a part of and the way that I was living, that's what I needed to be. So when I started realizing I could have a positive impact, it started to impact me. And I was like, I like the way this feels. Not because I'm getting accolades and stuff, because in prison, you don't get a lot of accolades for doing the right thing.
No.
Right.
So it was an internal thing. I would go to bed at the end of the day and be like, I did something. I made a difference.
Yeah.
I know I had an impact on that person's life. And that kind of becomes when you step into your purpose, you know, and you can feel it. And I just started doing it, and I went 10 toes down on it. Like a lot of people don't know that a part of my story is when I decided to go 10 toes down on doing the right thing, my whole world fell apart. The IRS and the FBI showed up at my sister's house, at my mom's house, because I wasn't doing the right things before
That's what
that.
happened.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And so I could have very easily said, well, this doing the right thing stuff don't work, and just threw my hands up. But I went, like I said, 10 toes down, and I kept doing it, and it kept being the right thing because it was the right thing with no obvious rewards. And the deeper I got into it, I was like, I can't go in any other direction. Being authentic, man, it's amazing to me how many people don't know how to be authentic.
Yes.
And don't know how they're robbing themselves.
It's the easiest, most rewarding thing you can be is yourself.
And it's
And
so
it's the
simple.
only spot that you resonate in.
Yeah. And it's the only place that you are actually going to be you. Otherwise, you could be anybody.
Anybody, yeah.
You know I bring something to every room that I'm a part of. I don't know what it is. Sometimes I'm the listener. Sometimes I'm the speaker. Sometimes I'm the context taker. Whatever the case may be, I'm in a room for a reason.
Yeah.
You know? And it's specifically me. And that isn't an arrogant thing. I believe that about everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody is a unique resource.
Yes.
You know, so last night I was listening to all these different podcasters, and one person in particular was talking about being alive for a reason. And she says not to be arrogant. I forgot what I was repeating it to you
Yeah.
at 3 a.m. when you're trying to sleep. I was trying to need some company.
Not to be
But something like, Larry, wake up. This is profound.
Right.
But meanwhile, what the point is that she said, I'm as important as the sun in this earth. She said, I take myself that important, what I can do, my ability.
Yeah.
I can be positive. I have a purpose. My purpose is that deep.
yeah.
I wasn't just born just to be nothing, just a matter of fact.
Right.
A cog is an important thing. It's a part of a
cog.
collective, you know.
Exactly.
Like in automotive, we talk about that, assemblies.
Yes.
Hey, you play your part,
Yeah.
So
and it
Larry,
all comes together.
They say there's nothing new under the sun, but I have a tendency to disagree because what is new is the combination that is uniquely you. There's nothing in a single individual by itself that is profound.
right.
It is that combination, that alchemy that makes each person who they are that is amazing. And until you get in touch with that, you're just some, watered down version of yourself, which is not impressive.
Exactly.
We all know when you got some good tea and when you got some old crappy tea that
Exactly.
and it's because it's been watered down. You're trying to stretch, but
Yeah, you're deluded.
yeah, no
And then
doubt.
you become delusional.
Yes. And then you
Exactly.
dilute others.
And then you
Yeah.
delude others.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? Because this is what I'm walking my way back from. And something you were talking about, it made me think about working in a nonprofit before. I didn't even see it in this, but I was working in an HR capacity. We discussed it a little before. And saying when you're in rooms, it's better to be on the inside, right?
Right.
Because you can make the difference.
Yeah, you can make a difference.
The impact, that's what we were talking about. And I was thinking when you kept saying you were making you knew you could make a bad impact, but you didn't know until you started working with NAACP or whatever about a good impact.
Sure.
But what I heard was you wanted to make an impact.
Impact. Yeah.
Sure.
So, and that's what happens to so many people. And the first instinct, especially for males, statistics show,
Yeah.
is going to be negative.
Sure.
That's their
It's easier.
response.
Yeah.
It's easier. It's
Yeah.
what we know.
Yeah.
It's coaching, training,
Sure.
right? Conditioning. It's an expectation.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
You ain't getting mad?
Right.
Yeah. And it starts because you're trying to protect yourself.
Yeah.
Yes. That's the
Yeah.
whole thing.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. That's
You're
why they attack
protecting
you.
that
Yeah,
child
yeah.
in there who
Sure.
didn't get protected,
Yeah.
probably, or whatever that trauma is.
Yeah.
But I'm not a doctor.
No, but all of those things are true because we all do. There's certain things we do as human beings, and then there's certain mechanisms we develop because of the things that we've faced.
Exactly.
Like I had a conversation with somebody not too long ago, and we both came onto the same page. But the idea that children aren't born narcissistic, they are. They are. They have to be.
Yeah.
They have to be aware of only themselves because they don't have the awareness of other people. The problem is not that a child is born narcissistic. The problem is when a child is narcissistic at 5, at 10, at 15,
They haven't
and at
developed.
55.
Right.
No corrective
No.
input.
Yeah.
No, because you have to let the world kind of work on you. And like I had substance use issues and stuff, so a lot of those things were, they call it the rate of maturation being upset. And all that means is that when I started drinking when I was 5. I really count my drinking age at 8 because that's the first time I drank to the point where I passed out. And so I had a history of that. So my rate of maturation was affected because every time something went bad, I drank. Every time something went good, I drank. Every time something was, I'm bored, I drank.
Yeah.
It was the one
Never
size fits all.
processed it.
Never did.
Worked
So
through it.
what I was doing in my 30s, I should have been doing in my teens. And so I was realizing things. But a lot of times in prison, it's not really set up for you to really mature in that situation. It's very similar to a drug in some ways, where you have to make your world smaller. You have to make your decisions narrower. All of these things that aren't necessarily that mature. I mean, think about it. We don't have a job. We have an assignment.
Right. An assignment.
We don't have a wage. We have a stipend. Sounds a lot like an allowance to me.
Right.
And when you don't do what you're supposed to do, you get grounded by putting on LOP or top lock.
You're under supervision and you're an adult.
Right. And so you don't get the opportunity to make further mistakes, which is how we learn.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
That's so good what you were saying. Someone that I spoke with was saying how she likened her experience to Arrested Development because you're stuck. I saw the show,
Right.
but never really interpreted it to have a meaning. So now I'm understanding, like, yeah, you are stuck.
Yeah.
It's trauma. It's like anytime you deal with any trauma, you often get stuck wherever you
Experience that trauma.
Yeah. And your trauma responses start to become, you don't even think about them anymore.
Yeah.
Because, like, you can't change. We were talking about choices on our live the other day. And some choices get made for you. But you still have a choice as to how you respond to them.
Right.
And so often people don't understand what's on the menu for choices. So I used to do an exercise, and I'd have 4 different colored markers, the sets that come with the black, the red, the green, and the blue.
Right.
Okay, so before we'd come into the class, I'd be like, the blue marker is the winner, and I'm going to give $20 to anybody who picks the right marker.
Okay.
And then I put the blue marker in my pocket.
right.
And so then I come into the room and I say, listen, anybody who picks the right marker has got $20 coming.
Okay.
And then I hold
Hold
up
up
these
three.
3 with the blue one in my pocket. You're not going to pick the blue one.
You don't have a
Right.
chance.
And I didn't say out
didn't
of
know-
these
you didn't
3,
know it was an
Right.
I
option.
said pick the right marker.
Right.
And so there's a lot of people who don't even realize what's on the menu and what's available to them, so they don't make those choices.
You're right.
You know?
And they don't understand. We talked about critical thinking. So many people haven't developed that ability to think critically. They've been told what to do. They're young when they offend often. And even if they're adults, you still, I mean, you're under 25 years old.
Sure.
And even, to be honest, it's tough out here. But you're young, you offend, you haven't developed. That's why you offended. You didn't know.
Yeah.
How did you, nobody just wake up, I don't believe, and say, I'm going to go and I'm going to break as many laws as I can. Then I'm going to go hold it. That's not a dream.
No, but I will say this, especially in some neighborhoods, people do grow up and think that that's a part of the rite of passage.
Yes.
That's true.
It's like, this is what I'm going to do, as I'm going to, I have these options and all these other options suck. So I'm going to go ahead and take this one. And as part of that option, I'm going to go to prison. I'm going to come out an OG. I'm going to probably go back once or twice.
Yeah.
It's a part of the process. It's the same as some people who are, in a household where everybody's graduated from college for 3 generations.
Yeah. It's just, hey, you following along. Yeah.
That's what we're going to do. I'm going to go to college. I'm going to get a degree, and it's like, and then I'm going to do this, that, and the other.
The blueprint.
Yeah.
It is, and it's what's set in front of you. I mean, we drive the highways all the time, not even thinking about it. If there's lines painted on it, that's the way I'm supposed to go.
Yeah, right, exactly.
And you talk
It
about
is.
people that go like into family businesses. Everybody in the family is a banker. So that's what he's taught, trained, that's what he does. And often he finds out it's not rewarding and he goes off into something else.
Yeah.
And it's the same way in lower income areas, whatever, hey, okay, yeah, you sell newspapers and you sell drugs, and you just keep going,
Right.
and they're gonna lead you certain places.
It is. And the good thing is they can find other things. So they could sell newspapers and drugs, right? But then you can also sell hope.
Yeah.
You could sell resources, opportunity.
Yeah.
It's like you can transfer those skills.
Absolutely.
That's
No
what
doubt.
we want to do. We
No
want to
doubt.
help people
Transfer,
You
yeah.
don't have to hide your past.
Yeah.
It's all good. We know you did the best you could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And you're only as healthy as your secret. So if you're hiding your past anyway, it's
Yes.
counterproductive. I mean, I wear a necklace that has 27 on it when I'm wearing my all black because I don't have a T-shirt that says something, or I don't have my jersey that says
Right.
something. And sometimes people get it confused. I'm not proud of the 27 years I did. I'm proud that I overcame it.
Yes.
Yeah, you made it
And
through.
you
Yes.
can't take that from me.
Exactly. It's
You
your
know?
past. It's your gift.
Yeah.
I did this. I'm not hiding it from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how many of you could overcome it? That's the other thing too. Is the
Exactly.
same ones that are sitting there judging me. No, you have no room for judgment.
They at home mad because the cable didn't work right,
Right.
or because of whatever.
Or because I'm ED of an organization after doing all this time, and they're stuck in a dead end position. You're stuck and imprisoned because of the fact that you believe that is what is available.
Exactly.
I didn't just the job found me, but somebody told me this, and this was hugely influential on the way I started approaching things. We've all heard this idea. It's not what you know, it's who you know.
Right.
He's like, no, that's not what it is. You know a lot of people that doesn't do you any good. It's not who you know, it's who knows you.
Ooh.
And when I started working and maneuvering in some of these fields like that, because now you guys know me.
Yeah.
So when you reached out for somebody to do an episode,
Right.
Yeah.
if I knew what you guys were doing, it's a different thing. You guys knew me and reached out. The same thing when I was doing those things
Yeah.
overseas.
Yes. Yes.
You know,
yes.
and so now when somebody reaches out for me to do a keynote, you know, that's they knew me. I didn't have to go seek this.
Yeah.
Right.
They come seek
Exactly.
me.
Exactly.
I can imagine. Yeah. Everybody. Yeah. Because I was the same way. Like, oh yeah, we gotta get Adam on here. Yeah.
Right.
You know, and then I'm sure they were the same way. You know.
Sure.
He'll do great in this spot. This
Yes.
forum. Yeah.
That's why I was like, "Come bless our mic," and
Yep.
you did. Thank
That's
you.
right. Absolutely.
So and blessed it twice, and even though we had all that good
I know.
footage,
And
lost good footage.
We
too.
often talk about that. You know, things go wrong right before it
It's
pops.
perfect. It's all perfect.
Yeah.
Believe me, all of this.
The fact is, you hadn't even left the parking lot yet.
Woo.
Right. That's
She's like,
it was good
what's it
time.
been, 10 minutes?
Right.
Yes,
So,
I was
yeah.
about to, I was like, I was through. You don't even
Yeah,
know.
I know,
was
I
like,
know.
you know what? I'm about to say goodbye
Especially
to
after your
this
night last night too.
Yeah, and
And now
day
even
to
the day
day.
before,
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah.
And, but I just want to say thank you, Adam, for coming again.
Yeah.
Just want to give another shout out to Adam Grant, Executive Director at A Brighter Way.
Indeed.
And we thank you for coming and joining us at Life Support. We were breaking barriers through reentry through relationships.
Relationship.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Relationship.
Don't forget, one at a time.
Yeah, one at a time.
One
I'm
at a
loving
time.
this.
Yeah.
All right, way to keep her on point.
Hey, you know, it's funny because I looked at that and thought it should be an S.
Right.
But when you explain that,
Yeah.
it's
All right,
deep.
we out,
It's deep.
everybody. Thank you.
Peace.